reaching, chasing our crazy dreams, hoping that the bridge won't cave in. So now we'll let it all go free. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. My shit don't like stepping at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me rock, 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 rock. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. My shit don't like stepping at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me light it up.
Thank you for coming. I'd like to introduce our panel tonight. We have Loipa Araujo. She is Associate Artistic Director of the English National Ballet. Gigi Hyatt, who is one of our jury members. She is also the pedagogical principal at Hamburg Ballet School. And Sujin Kang, who is the artistic director of the Korean National Ballet. So 3 women in very powerful positions in the dance world. So thank you very much for being here tonight. In the ballet industry, there's sort of a notable gap of women at the top in artistic directors, choreographers, in major leadership roles. Why do you think that is? Do you think it starts in the dance career, the way it's structured, or is it a lack of interest or a lack of confidence, or are there other things at play, other obstacles?
You want to start?
You start.
I mean, now in the world, I think many leaders, compared to before, women are much more there. Possible by the generation that the woman had some words to say, and then they were getting adapted and accepted. But I think before anything, men and women, if you are right for the place, you are. And I guess that many women has a talent to be whatever leader or which it was much less before. But I think that we shouldn't really, for me, I think that when you have a talent, when you have good hard worker, and so there is a place for each of the person, not the male and female. Maybe sometimes because I think so many years ago, female didn't have at all maybe the rights.
Right.
But by the time we are not living in another century, so I'm happy actually that it's getting balanced. Men and women, we respect each other. So I think in the future will be I think very important is working together. I think I talked too long for the next.
Well, I was thinking that it has been, through the history, you find women that have really started companies that are now in the high top. I'm thinking about Alicia Alonso in Cuba. I'm thinking of Peggy Van Graaf in Australia. And I'm thinking of the great lady in England. So when you see, there has been ladies, girls, they were young girls with a lot of vision of what a company should be, and they have started not only the companies, but I think they also started the schools. So I think it's just a fact of the right moment and the right place, because I think that talent it's not about a man or a woman or a color. Talent, you have it or you don't have it. So when the right person comes in the place and at the right time, whether it's a man or, like I said, a woman in their time, they just do the right work because we are more than prepared to do it.
Yes. Actually, I don't have much to add. That basically said it all. I think if you have talent and passion, whether you're a woman or a man, you can do the job. And I know there are many women out there who can get the job done very, very well.
I was wondering if you could each tell the audience how you got to where you are today. A little bit about your dance career, but then also after your dance career, and how your current positions came about.
Okay, I'll start. Let's go the other way around now. Well, I started dancing in the Cuban National Ballet it was Ballet Alicia Alonso before the revolution. So I was a young girl. I had started in a very private school, Sociedad Pro Arte Musical, but when I got to 14, I understood that I wanted to be a ballerina, and that school was not meant to do that. It was just to give you a way of moving, a way of being nice. So I passed to the school of Alicia Alonso and then the company. In 1956, that company disappeared until 1959, and then we had the chance to rebuild with the revolution the Cuban ballet. I started there from the last of the corps de ballet until first dancer, and then from there on I went to join Roland Petit in France for 5 years, and then I came and worked with Maurice Bayard for 2 years. So, and I danced, I was married to a Russian, so I had the opportunity to work in Russian with the big teachers. I've always been interested more than dancing, also in teaching and coaching. So I started coaching Tamara Rojo when I was working at the Royal Ballet. And we talked, I remember we used to talk because she always had a vision of what a company should be, how it should be run, what would be the artistic aim of that company. So we started talking about it. And then all of a sudden she was offered the position of the director of the English National Ballet, and she said, would you come with me? And I said, why not? So that was a new adventure for me, and it's really a passionate thing because you're in the middle, you're not only doing a class, making them dance better, you're not only coaching them to do a nice performance, but you are involved of the whole of what to plan, what would be the bill to do, the ballets to bring, and to follow the evolution of every dancer. So it's a little bit more of everything, and for me particularly, that came to me when I was more than 70, so it was like a new beginning. I thought I was finishing, but I started all over again, and let's see how long it goes.
That's wonderful. I was trained in Munich. Then I had the great fortune to join the company of John Neumeier in Hamburg, where I had my career for 16 years. I had a child and just realized that I felt I could not do both, continue dancing and be a mother. So at that time, and actually before I had my daughter, I started to become interested in teaching. I wanted to learn why one teaches steps like the certain way one does. Is it possible another way? And tried to discover all I could about teaching. When I retired after having my daughter, we moved to the United States. As my daughter got older, I started teaching all ages, from the little ones to the older ones. When the artistic director of the company I was with in Georgia, the Georgia Ballet, passed away, I was sort of thrown into the position of the artistic director of that company, a small nonprofit company in America. It's a very difficult situation, and one learns a lot from a lot of sides. Then it was time, my daughter was grown, and it was time to go back home, which was Hamburg. And I was very lucky that Mr. Neumeier offered me the position of deputy director and director of education at the Hamburg Ballet School. And there I've been for 4 years, and then I'm enjoying it very much, teaching the young dancers of tomorrow.
Yes, I started ballet in Korea, in South Korea, Seoul. And then I went to Monaco, Monte Carlo by Marika Brasova. And then during those time, I did the Prix de Lausanne. And 1985, I got the Prix de Lausanne. And then 86, I went to Stuttgart Ballet. And for 30 years, I worked in Stuttgart Ballet under Marcia Heide and Reed Anderson. And I just retired last year. But at the same time, I started directing 2014 for Korean National Ballet as not only as artistic director, but business woman also. So for me, it was a big challenging. But I said, okay, now or never, because was very, I could continue in Stuttgart. Everything was there. But I said, okay, it's my home country. I would like to give whatever, all the experience and my knowledge and my patient, whatever it, almost 50 years. So I decided to go back, and my husband said, yes, I come with you. It was very important. So I'm directing since 2014, and actually it was very tough, because when I left, Korea was another world.
Right.
And then 30 years later, of course, I go between to dance for 2 weeks and so, but living there, and I had to learn from the beginning of the people's lifestyle also, and the mentality is very much different. But we got to know them, each other, with the company, my workers and the dancers. So now it's gonna be 4th year. I am looking forward to start we start the season now, yes. So I'm very honored, because all my passion towards the dance, I could dance so long. I'm so satisfied. I'm so thankful to the public, and then all the people who made all this possible, that I could dance. Because dancing is such a beautiful thing that we give, but then they give us so much. And I wanted to give to next generation this beautiful feeling. What is ballet? What is art? So that's where I am, and I always want to say thank you. This is my always the main word.
Great. I wanted to ask you all how your dance career and the skills that you developed as a dancer, how that helped you in these leadership positions that you took on after your dance career. What about being a dancer is to your advantage? Whatever you learned in your career, or skills you developed while you were a professional dancer.
I think you should start. There are so many attributes one learns as a dancer that I don't think we can even list them all. I mean, from discipline to time management to passion, the list goes on, and I think it's been proven that dancers who go on to their second career, these attributes are highly recognized. Yes, I think that's about it.
Okay.
Me, I learned through the ballet about life, and through the life I learned for the ballet so much. So I can never separate it, life and ballet. It's a together thing, and the touring and the meeting peoples. It's not that the ballet dancers, of course you practice so many hours, but you are always being with the people. Mm-hmm. So it's a human thing. And then after all this experience, and then you don't meet only dancers, you meet with the up and down and all that, and that helped me to continue where I am now. With the people, I'm very comfortable. Mm-hmm. Even though I had to learn from the beginning on mentality, all that, my Korean, at the beginning was difficult because I was not using so much at all in Stuttgart, right, or in Monaco. So everything was from the beginning, but you learn, and I love learning, and this learning process makes, and then you can think it's hard, then it will be hard. But if you think, okay, it's hard, but I will make it, then you make it. So all these discipline, all this thinking, ballet dancers are very strong. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you cannot do this job. I mean, it's not a job, it's an art, but at the same time, we are very much, inside is tough, but outside is very flying and all that. So through this, then working together, it's very important. And that's why I'm sure so many dancers, when they change the career, won't be so much, they shouldn't worry so much, they just have to know that they have to decide and they have to know what you want to do for your life and do it, because we only live once in the life. So I think it's very important.
Well, all of that has helped us a lot, because the sense of unity, one person cannot do a company. You have to really, from the top to the corps de ballet, the last of the corps de ballet, from the one who does the lightnings, from the one who plays the music. So it's really a sense of everybody, and even if you could think dancing is very personal, you have to always feel that you're part of something. But in what I have found in my life now in this part is that because every one of us lived in completely another period of time, we were other generations. It's impossible to say, because I did it that way. No, I did it that way, but we have to find the way that people from now generations get the same passion and the same thing to do it. We cannot come from us and try to have them act and dance like we did. First, dancing technique-wise, it's incredible, the big jump that technique has done, not in 20 years, in 10 years. But also what I feel is the more difference is the generation, the interest of the new generations about dance. And I think what is more important is to try to let them know the importance of passion, the importance of commitment, and the importance of learning from everybody. Not even from the one that you think is not teaching you, you're even learning how not to do things. And that also, like my teacher said, dance is not something that it's up there in the Babel Tower, but it's something that is related with everything in life. And it's not about doing tondus, but it's also about reading. It's about listening music. So it's an art that has all of that. And we have to teach these new generations, let them know the importance of being part of a big thing, not just the bar and the performance and the 7 pirouettes. So I think that's the big challenge for us that have had careers in other time, in other circumstances. So I think it's for us to not to let them lose that beautiful part of our art.
My next question, and this is kind of based off my own personal experience when I became editor-in-chief, but is there anything about a dance career that may not prepare you? Like for myself, it was hard to get used to delegating and managing others because I was so used to focusing on my own self as a dancer and taking care of what I need to take care of. And when I was in a management position, suddenly I almost had to like remind myself, oh, I can actually ask someone to do that for me. Do you experience that as well, or are there other qualities or other ways that you felt a little unprepared from being a dancer?
It's a comedy actually. When I entered Stuttgart, the beginning, actually, from the school to company, it's another life. Mm-hmm. So I had to wait a lot in the École de Ballet. I mean, I did this really almost 10 years École de Ballet until I became the half solo and the principal. But I must say that was the most fantastic years of my life. I learned so much. Only beginning, okay, you have a hard time, and then you are not in shape because while you wait, you get depressed, all that.
Right.
So, but suddenly, no, at that time there was the many cast in the corps de ballet, very back there, A, B, C, D, E. Actually, I'm in E, but everybody had to be sick that I could go on. And it was La Sylphide, Les Sylphides. And I was a corps de ballet, and they said, okay, you have to jump in. And that was a nightmare of my life, and I had a big lesson because I went on, and I did something really like on the movie. They go up, and I go down, and they go this, and then I thought that I was going to be fired. But I'm so thankful they didn't fire me at that day, but from that day on, I'm always prepared for not only anything, for whole my life until I die. It was a really good lesson. So I am very thankful that, sometimes a big mistake, if you can learn, and that was, I have to say I'm very thankful that I did that mistake. I didn't want to be that embarrassing, but that helped teach me. To be always ready, so I am always ready for always.
One thing that I noticed making the transition from a dancer, as a dancer you're told exactly what to do and when to do it. You have class in the morning at 10, then you have your 15-minute break, then you have rehearsal, then you have lunch in this time. So that, realizing that, no, I can maybe switch that up in my new job. Actually, I can make the schedule, was really, came with a sense of freedom, but it took a while to actually realize what that feeling was. And one more difficulty making the transition from a dancer was, I think as a dancer, our identity is a dancer. And you don't realize how deep that is. And when that's taken, not taken from you, you decide to stop. There is a transition period that one needs to go through, whether it be positive or negative. I mean, for me, it was very positive, but it was a good thing to realize.
I think that for me, what helped me a lot in the transition that I had to do, because it comes to everybody sooner or later, is that because we opened the ballet school in 1962, our teacher said, well, I cannot teach all the groups, so you have to start teaching. And we said, but how are we going to teach if we still don't know how to dance properly? And he said, oh, don't worry, I've taught you well. So starting to teach and then I realized when I was telling somebody, oh, you're not doing this and that, and said, but I'm not doing it either. So when I went back and went on my class, I was start doing same corrections. So for me, and I think because also I come from a family, my father was a very good teacher, my mother was a very good teacher. Teaching became something I liked so much, so when a teacher didn't come to the company, who wants to teach? I was there ready to teach. So I've been teaching since I'm 21, and it became part of my life. And all of a sudden I realized I loved teaching so much that I just stopped dancing and nothing happened. I was teaching. Something I've been doing for many years, and that I have learned a lot, going to Russia and taking from here, from there, looking at a lot of performances at a lot of teachers and finding your own way of teaching. But your question, I think it's when you are really conscious that you are part of something, that you are not the center of something, then it's very easy to delegate because you can easily understand what person is suited to do certain job that maybe you cannot do it as good as he does it. So delegate, I think, when you find the right person to delegate, and I say, oh, he's very good to take rehearsals, so why should I do it? If corps de ballet, I can take a rehearsal of a corps de ballet, but I can recognize somebody that does it better than me. Why should I then do it? Let him do it. And I will go and still learn, because I think that's the most difficult thing to do, is to rehearse a corps de ballet, to put them together, to not only put them together, but also to make them leave what they're doing, not just standing there as a swan or something. They have to have their own stories. And it's so difficult to think of units, everybody together, but at the same time feel there's a spirit coming out of there. So I don't think delegate, it's difficult if you realize that you're part of something and you're not the center of everything.
Okay. What would be your advice for any of our young dancers here tonight who maybe do think about someday being a choreographer and leading her own company, or opening a school, or becoming a artistic director, or a principal of a school? Is there anything she should be thinking about now in her early career to help her prepare for that? I know you talked a lot about preparation. Was there anything?
Oh, no. Me, actually, I live day by day. To tell you the truth, yes, you can think a lot, but you never know what comes tomorrow. I am prepared. I do my best how much I can live today. I prepare for tomorrow. But when you wake up tomorrow, I think for everybody, so many times it changes upside down. But for those days of those times, you have to be ready. Try to live the moment. So actually, I never thought I would become someday in Stuttgart. 30 years is long. I was so happy, but I didn't think I would be director. So it's good to have a big dream. But for me, my big dream and small dream was just I want to do my best, what I do today. And I think that for me was the way, because I can think about 3 years later, 10 years later, who knows how the life goes. So I always kind of tell the next generation, today do your 100%, and then you will see it cannot be so bad. Because it's a ballet or life is like studying. You have to do today your things, but you are lazy, so you push, then result is not good. So try to do whatever you can do today, not maybe too much, for each person is different, but then you don't regret of yourself, and I think that's the most important, not regretting what you are. Of course, we all pass difficult times, but for me, I thank all those times of difficult times, then fantastic times. Of course, it's beautiful, but you always learn. For me, the life is like homework. So.
I think if one has passion for something, the next step will present itself, and often in a choice, the next step will present itself, and there's a decision to be made. I think to be able to have the courage and honesty to recognize that and to make those decisions, I think, are key.
I completely agree about the word passion. I don't think you can do anything in life without passion, especially in our world, because it takes a lot of commitment and heart and sorrow and thinking. So I don't do it if you're going to find it as a way of life. It has to be the meaning of your life. So whatever you're going to do. And if you have done well, like every day you have done your homework 100%, for sure you'll be ready for it because you have learned. It's not that you pass your whole dancing career just moving and not really putting passion and knowledge into it. If you do that, then when you finish, then you are empty-handed, because maybe you can put 3 exercises together with music, but they would have no meaning, and that's not teaching. Teaching is more than that. But if you learn from your teachers how they taught, what they told you, how you worked, and everything, then you will be prepared for anything. And as we are very strong sex, whatever we get to do with our passion, we'll do it.
Sujin, do you teach as well?
I coach.
Okay.
Because I knew my talent. I'm not choreographer. I knew since I was I loved it dancing. And then when I taught, but teaching is something else than it's another talent. I knew I'm not a teacher of giving the class. I can teach, but it's not with passion. But I love coaching. It's with my life. So I do with my company, and then that's the most beautiful time for me to be in the studio with the dancers. So you can be the most fantastic ballerina in the whole world. That doesn't mean you can teach. Or it's a completely different section. So what is important for the next generation, whatever, is that they should be open-minded and listen. And then I think it's always important to giving. And then the next, at least one or two does, it's already good. Then nobody. So I think we are all trying to do the all stay for ballet world to continue what is really art. Ballet is life. It's just it's another dimension when you feel this. Who could felt this? So you try to give this happiness, and there is no word. So it's just what is especially important, I think, these days, when outside is very much chaos, that when the art dies, it's going to be very danger. So I think as much as we can do is try to make a balance. Technology we need, but art has to go together because we are still human.
Right.
So I wish that would make always a balance, that we can make people happy, that they feel what is there is still feeling left.
I was wondering if each of you could, just going down the line, could say what the most rewarding and most difficult part of your job is.
Rewarding is when you go on a performance and you see a beautiful performance. That is the most rewarding thing, not only technically, but especially when it reaches you. So you know the artist has really opened his heart, and the audience goes with a big smile. And even if they came in with worries or everything, because I agree, art can make you just believe in life again, and believe in love, and believe that everything would be okay. And because beauty, as I said, ballet is the most, you don't need words to express emotions. And when you see a performance that really gets to your heart, I think it's the most rewarding thing. No matter how many hours you had to teach, how many hours you had to coach. It's just what it is. It just gives you energy to start the next day again, very early in the morning.
Yes, I agree. We try to teach, we teach ballet technique, and yes, we want it to be a strong dancer on stage, but then when we see that that person uses this technique for artistic freedom and makes choices that perhaps weren't prepared, that's very exciting and very inspiring. I think the most difficult thing working with students in the school is maybe when you realize, or when the student realizes, well, this is not the career meant to be for them, and that's a very difficult period.
I didn't answer.
No. What's the most challenging part of your
For
job?
now,
Yeah.
I have to do both. I am like, I don't know in English, intendant. That I have to manage both sides. So I get some budget. I have to share where to go and what to make the company run in the best standard. And very important, artistic side way. You work daily. Why? All together with my workers and the dancers and all the stuff to give a good performance. Then after once you have all done, and when you see the performance, and you are so satisfied and thinking, this is the life. And for that moment, you work hard like crazy, but we are all like, for me, crazy, the world is very beautiful. It's not like, so we are all crazy. I mean, if we are normal, but as to be artist, you need a certain the creativity and certain craziness to get all together, and then. But each person is a different personality and gets all the lights. And that's what I try to do with my company. And it's when you see the result means a stage. So then I'm so happy. And then as she says, the life for the next day, if you wake up and if you're still alive, I'm so happy. Yeah. Let's continue from the beginning until the next, in the morning until evening, you start again. Every day, different day, different new life.
Okay. What do you, I mean, the topic tonight is women in leadership, and maybe there is no difference, but why do you think women can make good bosses?
Oh, not, I mean, like she says, it's the moment, if you are good, then you are. If you are not good, you are not. It doesn't mean that, but as I think generation has changed. Beginning, the ballet world was a woman, had the Alicia Alonso and all that. Yeah. And by the time changed, there are many men, and they are very good also. But from, I think, which company, where, and the timing, it's, I think, one thing. Everybody try to make the best out of it with good or bad. So that's why we are here. I think still Prix de Lausanne, congratulations, 45 years. I mean, I cannot imagine when I did it 1985. It passed already so many years later, and I'm still talking like still a lot of energy. I'm so thankful that I'm still really, and really big respect. I mean, you know, her generation is the most actually that we have to open our ear and then listen as much as we can, and then hopefully the next generation we can give the right the direction, because it's not easy. Ballet is not easy. You want to have an easy life, don't take ballet. Ballet is not easy, but beautiful. You have to love this hard life, means hard, beautiful life. But once you get the taste, it's you cannot go away. So I say it's not only for the professional, even for the normal people, ballet is a very healthy thing. So everybody learns ballet from today.
Yes, I don't know so much about a woman or a man, but maybe I'm just optimist. You hope that the right person is in the right position at the right time, and they have the right qualities and characteristics and strength and courage and honesty to fulfill the position.
I agree. If you're for it, you have it, go ahead and do it. Yeah. And I'm sure because you have everything, you'll do a good job. I still think it's not about women and men. Yeah, it's just about the qualities you have in yourself. And if by any chance, like, they decided there were 3 men and 1 woman, and I think the choice was made not because she was a woman and not because they were men. It was just because she was the right person. With Tamara, I'm talking. I think she was the person. She was a big ballerina. She had prepared herself. She already was thinking about directing a company. So I think she was the right choice, and time has proved that she really was. So I think it's just about the right time, the right moment.
And right person.
Right person.
Great. I just want to... does this go till 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock? Okay.
Almost.
Okay, well, I guess one question I had for you, Sujin, is how did you get your job? How did you get your position? Did you apply or?
Oh no.
were they asked?
I never thought I would be director ever. Actually, no. Actually, many years they were asking me from Korea. I was not interested because I was really dancing. I love dancing. I was very busy going around and then dancing and then when I was getting the last time when they asked me 2013, I said okay. Somehow it doesn't my sixth sense. You know, woman has a sixth sense. Either
7 and 8. Things.
7 and 8 or 9 tails or whatever.
Yeah, I love it.
It came, I said, okay, I can continue in the Stuttgart living. Everything was ready for whole life. No problem. But when they asked me last time, was very funny enough. I said, if I don't go back to Korea now, it will be never. Then I said, okay, I decided. But I had to ask my husband, would you like to come? And he said, if that's what you really want to decide and do it, it was just a really so fast and quick decision. And everybody was getting, oh my God, how can you do it? But then, yes, it started very out of a really sudden. But I don't regret one thing from what my decision. Even, okay, it worked good, I mean, more than what I thought. So I'm very thankful to everybody. But it's even with a lot of mistake. But you know, the life, I'm thinking, if I don't go back to the past, so I decided it could go wrong, but I would never regret, because life is like this. It's not that I always risk. I think a lot because you know, you don't want to. But people does mistake. But one thing, you shouldn't be afraid of leaving. And I think that made somehow to get where I am now. And then it's incredible. Actually, I started to dance ballet because I just loved it. And then people start to respect me. And then somehow that's why, like, always respect. People makes you, you know, you don't make yourself. I am still doing this director because I love it. So I can give up with my patient. But all these things, you don't live alone and you don't dance alone. Even you do the principal couple. If a cold ballet doesn't support you, this performance is messed up. So always the base is very important. And that's how I try to manage my company that way. And I'm very much thankful for this honor, that I can be where I am. So thank you to everybody.
Okay, well, I think we're out of time, unfortunately. But thank you so much for sharing your stories with us and for sharing your advice. And thank you for coming. So.